morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you, just for you. In the morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello. the morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show.
Direct flash sale, and this week it's the Weeping Cherries. The free Weeping Cherries are on me. That's right. If you were to spend over $300 at our Grower Direct flash sale today or any time this week, you can get a free $100 Weeping Cherry for free. So there we are. So $100 Weeping Cherry for free when you spend over $300. Now you probably wonder why they would do such a crazy deal. It's easy. Look what it is. Like I was looking at the weather forecast for the next 10 days. It's raining every second day. So we've got cold, wet, miserable weather, and people need a big offer to get them out into the garden and get them down to the nursery, and that's your big offer. And there's lots of other things. There's bare-rooted roses here, there's cheap English box, there's all sorts of things. But as the ultimate enticement, we're the only nursery doing it. We've got, when you spend over $300, you got free delivery and you got a free Weeping Cherry valued at $100. So we're going to turn what would be our coldest, wettest and most miserable month into our busiest month by giving away a free Weeping Cherry when you spend over $300. And it's a beautiful Weeping Cherry. We've got 5. You might grab one of our free Weeping Cherries so we can show the customers, or even a bin of Weeping Cherries. But check that. Well, let's go to the first one. Let's show them those Weeping Cherries. Now here's your asparagus Foxtail Fern, really hard to get at most places, and you've got them here, $19.99. Asparagus Foxtail Fern, pop these in, and by the end of summer you'll have a beautiful bushy thing in the garden like that. Plant them in a pot, plant them in a modern garden, fantastic. Asparagus Foxtail Ferns, $19.99. Now one of the other exciting things today is that we've got 130, it's our biggest ever day, 130 items on special. Yippee! Now let's look at the birthday candles.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to another exciting Growers Direct flash sale from Hello Plants. I'm Jodie. I'll be one of your hosts today. For the next 2 hours, I'll be here answering your questions with Chris, guiding you through today's featured collections and making sure you know exactly how to grab these amazing deals while they last.
Right, okay, and if you've got any special messages that you want to put onto our Grower Direct flash sale, you can send a comment through to Jodie and she'll put you on the show. So if you think these birthday candles here, have a look at these beautiful birthday candles. Now, birthday candles have the most beautiful orange flowers, and next year they'll be covered in beautiful orange sort of bottle brush type flowers. At any rate, these ones here, very hard to get anywhere, and we've got them in 8-inch pots, reduced from $59.99 to $46.99. These are beautiful size, and birthday candles are one of the most beautiful natives and one of the hardest to get at the moment. So $46.99, beautiful small feature tree. If you're doing a nice native garden, you want a nice small feature tree. So there we are, birthday candles, $46.99.
Chris, we've got Eden Gardens, who's joined us on Instagram, says, "You're a legend, mate. Love watching your stuff."
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Now here we've got your Better John, which is the better version of the Little John. Beautiful little green callistemon it grows about 1 metre tall and about 80 centimetres wide. It gets covered in little red flowers. So if you want a really beautiful native feature that doesn't get too big, your Better John. And your Better John is reduced from $16.99 to $9.99. So you can put together, we've got plenty of nice natives today. So Better John, $9.99. Now have a look at this. This is fantastic. Tom Thumb. If you live in country where your English box dies, you know, maybe it's a bit salty, a bit clay, a bit heavy, a bit wet, a bit dry, you know, whatever, and you don't do too good with the old English box, Tom Thumb is the answer. And here's Tom Thumb here. Reduced from $12.99 to $10.99. Beautiful big Tom Thumb, ready to make an instant hedge. Pop them in close together. You can make an instant hedge with these Tom Thumb for $9.99. Now here we've got Dwarf Nandina. We've got two sorts of them. We've got the normal Dwarf Nandina and the Moon Bay Nandina. And they both grow in beautiful round balls, one of the lowest maintenance plants around. Fabulous low maintenance plant. And these ones here, and the thing with moon bays is they're great to run up along a driveway, mass plant them on a hillside and get lots and lots of colour into the garden. Look at that, there they are there, beautiful, beautiful plants. Now, the thing with them is, for mass planting, this is fantastic. These are nice big gutsy sort of plants. Have a look at this one here. Look at that, nice big gutsy plants for $3.99, reduced from $5.99 to $3.99. Either Dwarf Nandina, which is the redder one, or Moon Bay, which is the kind of has the finer foliage. $3.99 for Nandina Moon Bay and Nandina Dwarf.
So this is raspberry. That is Dolphin. This is raspberry.
Right. Okay. So what we've got here is we've got double pink Marguerite daisy and raspberry Marguerite daisy. Now this, I imagine this one here is your raspberry, and this one here is your double pink, and I think there's one flower here. Here it is, a lovely little double pink. Now I did a beautiful. Let's have a look at it. I'll grab this one here, and you can look at these here. There's your double pink, and there's your raspberry. Now I love Marguerite daisies. Marguerite daisies are going to flower from now like crazy, or right through to Christmas. So beautiful, easy to grow, great bit of winter colour, and these are lovely and cheap. How much are these ones? These ones here are they're reduced from $12.99 to $6.99. Look at the size of these plants for $6.99. Fabulous value. So double pink and raspberry Marguerite daisies for $6.99. Get a bit of colour into your garden. Now here we've got your Pink Thrift. Now your Pink Thrift, lovely hardy low growing plant, great for a border, great to spot it through your cottage garden, great if you want something nice and neat and small and flowering to go between larger shrubs. And this is your Pink Sea Thrift, reduced from $9.99 to $6.99. Look at these beautiful little pink flowers, and these are just going to flower and flower and flower for months. Look at that. Look at that beautiful flowers. Look at that. So Pink Thrift, $6.99. Now at your local nursery, you'll probably find it hard to get a cottage plant for under $12.99. So these are virtually half price at $6.99.
Alright, so if you've just joined us, check out the pinned link in the comments to start shopping right away.
Yeah.
Or you can scan the QR code on your screen to head directly to our website where you'll find all of these bargains. These prices are lower than market value and stock is limited. So as always, first come, first serve.
So here we've got the brachyscome. Now your brachyscome, you've got your beautiful, these are your cut leaf daisies, and these flower for most of the year. We've got the old purple one, and these are just starting to flower now, but there's your pink one and your purple one there, and at your local nurseries these are probably $12.99 or something like that, $12.99. And look at it, love it, and they're going to flower and flower. This one flowers virtually all year, this one here, and great source of colour in the garden, nice and low and spreading, beautiful ground cover. And normally you'd expect to pay $12.99 for these. These are down to $6.99 for cut leaf daisies purple and cut leaf daisy pink. Now we've got, look at the size of this camellia here. What a beautiful size camellia. I'm 6 foot, it's nearly as tall as me, and at any rate these are only $59.99. These are Sasanqua camellias. They're sun hardy, great for a hedge, great for a nice tall narrow specimen, beautiful in a pot, flowers for months in the autumn and early winter. So $59.99 reduced from $79.99. This one here is called Edna Butler, and we're going to have a few more of them here. Let's have a look at them all together. Now Hiryu is a very strong grower, great for a hedge. And here we have Yuletide. Look at the flowers here on the Yuletide. Look at this, absolutely beautiful. Look at these flowers here. Yuletide. Now Yuletide, if you want to have a camellia in a pot, this is the best camellia that we've got to have in a pot. Have a look at this. Here. Have a look at these ones here. There's your Yuletide there. But what we've got is we've got a beautiful, Asakura. We've got Asakura, and we've got Hiryu. Hiryu is one of the strongest growers and one of the hottest deep pinks. And then you've got Early Pearly, all beautiful camellias, lovely big sizes, and all $59.99. So now if you wanted to see all the different camellias we've got on special at that $59.99 special, you just click on this code here, and you go there and you'll see. Now what's interesting is that we're doing free delivery over most of Victoria. So when you spend over $300, free delivery. And the other big thing is, has anyone been able to get? No, I don't want that double. No, I don't want that one. It's all messed up. It's a freak. Give us a normal one.
So today's flash sale categories.
Yeah. So what we've got, when you spend over $300, these guys eventually they're going to be able to get one of these. Could somebody get one of the free? Not a double header like that, because that'll be answer. But what it is, if you spend over $300, you've got free delivery over most of Victoria. You can go out to Hamilton, you can go out to Bendigo, Ballarat, Geelong, right down the Surf Coast, all out to Traralgon, down to Curramborough, all for when you spend over $300. But right now, if you spend over $300 today, this is the best day ever. If you spend over $300, fantastic. Look at this here. If you spend over $300 today, you get an incredible $100 weeping cherry for free. So an amazing $100 weeping cherry for free. So you can put your whole garden together and then get your feature tree for free. This one here is a falling snow. This could be covered in white blossom in the springtime. So if you could take that one for me, take that. Now what we've got here is our Belgian hybrid, reduced to $12.99. Look at that. Look at this. Look at the size of this. This is a clivia. You've got to grow these in the shade, but beautiful big clivia. Normally you'd be paying nearly $30 for a hybrid clivia this size. These ones here are $12.99. Fabulous value for $12.99.
All right, so Chris, today's flash sale categories. We're going through climbers, edibles, feature plants, grasses and strappy plants, ground covers, screens, hedges and windbreaks, shrubs and borders.
Right.
So there's a lot on offer today.
So you'll be able to put your garden together today at a Grow Direct flash sale and get everything cheap. Now here's a fabulous deal coming up. Right after those clivias, you've got your prime white convolvulus. Now that's it here. Now this is a This is a ground cover that'll cascade over an embankment. You can put it into a cottage garden. You can put it in the bottom of a pot and have it cascade over the side of the pot. Put it in a hanging basket. Beautiful green foliage, lovely white flowers. Flowers for 6 months of the year. Now, most nurseries you'd be paying $15 or $16 for these. Now, what are we doing them for here? We're doing them for $6.99. So you'd have trouble. This is your prime white convolvulus. You'd have trouble buying it anywhere for under $16. These are $6.99. And these, you could plant these underneath your iceberg roses. You can have cheap iceberg roses coming up. Put these under your iceberg roses. They look fabulous. Now here's one of my favourite plants. This is your yellow buttons. You'll see him come up on the screen in a second. Yellow buttons. And anyway, your yellow buttons down from $12.99 to $6.99. This is an Australian native plant that is not going to come up on the screen. He's replaced the everlasting pink daisy, which was on the screen. So your yellow buttons, beautiful little yellow flowers, lovely silver grey foliage, beautiful spreader, really, really tough. If you want a low maintenance spreading plant, yeah, and most nurseries $12, $14, $15. These are $6.99. So $6.99, beautiful big healthy yellow buttons. Look, this one here starting, where are we? Getting yellow button. Look at the size of that for $6.99. You're really getting something for your money. Look at that for $6.99. Unbelievable. So there we are, $6.99, yellow buttons, fabulous value.
Avonview, Princess, and we don't have
Okay, so what we've got now is we've got lavenders. Now what we've got is, first of all, we've got our deep fort. This is your deep fort here. This is a lovely little compact miniature lavender in flower now. Look at those beautiful dark purple flowers. And this one here has been reduced to $16.99, from $29.99 to $16.99. Then you've got your Princess Lavender. This is your Princess Lavender, and that's reduced to $16.99. So Princess Lavender. Look at those lovely little sort of pinky flowers and beautiful silver grey foliage, and only $16.99. And then you've got your Princess, and you've got your Avonview. So here we've got our Avonview Lavender, and your Avonview Lavender is down to $16.99. So, and $16.99 is a great price, because $16.99 at your local nursery you'll only get a little tiny 6-inch pot, but we've got nice big 8-inch pots, big bushy 8-inch pots for $16.99. $16.99. So you've got Avonview, you've got Princess, and you've got Deep Fort, a beautiful little miniature lavender, 8-inch pots, big bushy plants, all $16.99.
All right, so Chris, we definitely have some great deals on today, but you've also got a special bonus. So if people spend $300 or more, either online or in store here at Campbellfield, this month they will receive a free $99 Weeping Cherry.
Yeah, there's just a real happy customer going out the door right now. He came in here, bought a big bundle of roses for his missus, and walked out with a giant Weeping Cherry, $100 Weeping Cherry for free.
Is that why he was whistling on his way out?
Yeah, that's right. He looked a very, very happy man.
So that offer is valid until the 31st of July.
Yeah. Now what's happened here, I got a lovely lot of these in yesterday, and they got snuffled. Some customer bought them all, so I've only got 4 little tiny ones, but we'll get more of these in for you if you want them. These are catmint. Now catmint are one of my favourite plants. They have a beautiful lavender-like flower. That's them. They're wonderful plants. They have beautiful, soft, funky kind of cottage flower. And these are lovely, healthy little plants. Now, at your local nursery, cottage plants like catmint, $12, $14, $15, $16. These are $6.99. $6.99. They're so cheap. There's probably a law against selling cottage plants this cheap, and no wonder they all got snuffled yesterday. So there we are. Catmint, $6.99.
Angel face.
Yeah.
And cigar piece.
Yeah. And we've got a beautiful label on the angel face out there. We haven't. We don't have. Oh, right. Okay. So now what we've got here, look at that angel face, that amazing Now, Angel Face has got this wonderful spicy smell and beautiful purple flowers, and has lots of clusters and clusters of purple flowers. Wonderful rose. Now, at your standard roses, I was down at one of them big stores. I think they call it Manning's or something like that. There's a big store called Manning's or something like that. And anyway, I'm down there, and little roses like this, they were like $35-40. We've got them for $19.99. And then Chicago Peace. This is Chicago Peace here. It's one of your all-time classic roses. When I was a kid, the number one rose in the world was a peace rose. And then the Chicago Peace come along. It's got that extra flush of pink in it. Beautiful. Now your Chicago Peace, fabulous. Now your Angel Face and your Chicago Peace both have beautiful fragrance, and they're really exquisite colours. And these are only $19.99. So $19.99 for a standard rose, bare-rooted standard rose. We bring these in from South Australia. You notice they've got lovely thick stems, nice big heads on them, really good strong roses. And if you come out and get some of these standard roses now, we get them delivered for free out to Traralgon or something like that. These standard roses here, they're going to be flowering. By the time the Melbourne Cup comes, you'll have these covered in flowers, and you'll be breathing in that beautiful fragrance. But look at that, that's Chicago, your Chicago rose there, your Chicago Peace. So there we are. Standard roses, 2-footers, $19.99.
Excellent.
Now, remember, if you're spending over $300 today, you can get free delivery. And now this one here, this is an interesting rose. This is Europeana, and Europeana is like having an iceberg that's red. Europeana, clusters of flowers, and I've noticed it never really happens here in Melbourne, but over in Adelaide, lots of people do iceberg Europeana, they alternate them, and you've got this lovely red and white combination. So Europeanas, and we've got them here, they're a couple of foot tall, and they're $19.99. So $19.99 for a 2-foot Europeana.
It used to be $16.99.
And can we show them a nice big bucket of the icebergs? Let's show them a nice big bucket of icebergs and some of the 4-foot standards. I might do the... So next thing here, you've got your 4-foot iceberg. Here you've got your 4-foot iceberg. We'll give them a nice bucket. 4-foot iceberg, and is that a 2-foot or 3? 3-foot. We want a 3-foot bucket. Yeah, 3-foot bucket. So here you've got your 4-foot iceberg. So if you've got a big garden, a big house, and you want to really show it off, these 5-foot icebergs, anywhere else these would cost you $70, $80, $90 each. These 4-foot icebergs here are $49.99. So $49.99, and because they were dug up a year ago, planted in the pot, grown in that pot for a whole year. Because they've done that whole year in the pot, these are going to be looking absolutely gorgeous by the end of October this year. So end of October, you might be putting a house on the market in spring. These 4-foot icebergs are really going to happen for you. Now here we've got the most sought after rose in Victoria is your 3-foot iceberg. This is the one that'll pop up over the top of your picket fence. And these are costing $40, $50 and $60 around the traps. We've got them for $29.99, and they're not scungy ones. They're the best roses in Victoria come from South Australia. These are South Australian ones. Nice thick stem, big bushy roots, nice big double head on them. These will make a beautiful rose in no time. And these roses here are $29.99. So $29.99. $29.99 standard iceberg rose. You cannot go wrong. Come down this weekend, get yourself 6 of them or 5 of them or 4 of them or 3 of them or 12 of them. Like I went to that Manning's Hardware, and anyway, I noticed there that they only had like 50 roses in their stand, and you could only have like 1 or 2 of each variety. So if you come down here this weekend, you need half a dozen of one sort of rose, you'll have no problem, because we've got thousands of roses down here and plenty of these icebergs, 3-footers at $29.99.
Now, Chris, Yang Sifu has been very much enamoured by what they've seen in the icebergs there, and has just asked, how do I purchase?
Well, what you can do is you can jump in your car and come down here, maybe hook a trailer on or something like that, head down here this afternoon or tomorrow or the day after.
Hook up a cart?
Yeah, and grab.
Stick it on the back of the horse?
Yeah, that's right. Head down here and get yourself some of these plants. Or you can ring up and say, listen, put aside 10 of them iceberg roses, or you can go online and order them online. And the thing is, you don't even have to come here. Maybe you live over in Yay or up there in Traralgon or something like that, you could order over the phone or order online and get them delivered for free. And remember, when you spend over $300, where's that Weeping Cherry? The big Weeping Cherry yeah, when you spend over $300, you've got a Weeping Cherry for free. That's right, a big Weeping Cherry, your choice of pink or white. Here it is here, a beautiful big Weeping Cherry. Look at that Weeping Cherry there, a Weeping Cherry like this for free. So $100 big bushy Weeping Cherry, absolutely free.
Geez, Chris, that's almost mad.
Well, it is mad, but what it is July with all the rain and everything like that and all the cold could be pretty miserable, could be pretty slow in here. I've got seven delivery vans I've got to keep busy. I've got heaps of workers. We've got a big show to run here, and if I've got to give away 400 or 500 Weeping Cherries to keep it busy, that's so it is.
That's a great deal.
Otherwise we'll all be sitting around looking at each other in the cold weather, and I mean, it'd be terrible.
All right, so Yang's on TikTok and has said, how do I order online? So Yang, if you scan the QR code that's up on the screen next to Chris, then you can, that will take you straight to our website where you can find all of these deals. Or you could just head to our website and there on the front page is a link to our flash sale. Also,
hey, we're about to do the Waverley Sage and the Dwarf White Salvia.
Okay, all right, so Nanny is on TikTok and said, I've now purchased 14 3-foot standard roses from you, all mixed colours. So that's great, Nanny. Yeah,
that's beautiful. That's great. And they're fabulous, our roses. They're really, really good.
And also...
look, there we are. There's our whites. Oh, sorry, you go on.
That's okay.
I've been looking for those. Yeah, go on.
All right, and Karen's on TikTok again. And hi, Karen. Karen said she ordered last Friday and it hasn't been delivered yet. If she orders some more today, will she be charged delivery again?
No.
No, we can sort that out for you.
Add it on. We'll do it for free. No worries.
Yes.
Okay, so now what we've got here is we've got this is our Waverley Sage here. That's this sage that you see here. Beautiful plant, and it's a very soft, romantic sort of a thing. So if you need a really soft, romantic, mid-sized sage in the garden, here it is. And then if you want a nice compact one that flowers almost all year, this is your Dwarf White Sage. That's your Dwarf White Sage there. Now, at your local nursery, sages, $16.99. I noticed down at Manning's there's a section for $12.99 for a lot of your cottage plants for $12.99. But here we've got them for $6.99. Beautiful, beautiful stuff like that you'd normally expect to pay a lot more money for. There it is. So, hey, it's a really beautiful cotton lavender just over there, 8-inch.
All right,
just over there. We'll get rid of this one here. Now, what we've got here is your cotton lavender. So that's your white sage there, and your white sages are $6.99. So really incredible value. And that's your Mexican sage. That's your white sage there. Beautiful. So sages are a fabulous way to get a bit of fragrance and colour into your garden. Now let's have a look. We're going to do the cotton lavender. Here's your cotton lavender. Now look at those beautiful yellow flowers. People think lavenders are blue, but you can get a yellow, the beautiful silver foliage and yellow flowers. That's your cotton lavender here. Look at this. Look how they grow. Isn't that beautiful? That's a beautiful silver foliage. Let's have a look at the wonderful cotton lavenders. Now we've got those in 6-inch pots. Now normally at your local nursery, 12 or 14 bucks each. We've got them for $6.99. $6.99. Now what you'll notice is you might think, well, this is a little bit extra cheap. Well, we're in the coldest, most miserable months of the year, the months where it's hard to get people down to the nursery, hard to get them out in the garden, and we're making it so people can't even refuse because we're doing free delivery when you spend over $300, and we're doing a free $100 Weeping Cherry. And we'll show you that Weeping Cherry again in a minute, but right now we've got Alice Eastwood, a beautiful lilac. This is your classic lilac coloured lilac. Look at that there, a little bit of sort of pink, a little bit of lavender and mauve in it. Super duper classic, wonderful fragrant flowers, medium size, let's call it a small tree or a largish bush. Wonderful for cut flowers, wonderful thing to have. And this one is going to set you back $29.99. So $29.99 for an Alice Eastwood lilac. Fabulous.
Now, Chris, so Karen is just wondering how can she add to her previous order, and Nanny's been very helpful and said give us a call, to give our staff a call and to add to your number.
That's the point. I think something a little bit tricky like that, you wouldn't do it online. I'd get on the phone, speak to one of our staff. We've got some really helpful girls manning the phone here at the moment. Speak to one of our staff, tell them that, give them what to add on, say which order you want to add it on to, and they can surgically put that all together for you.
Absolutely. So give us a call on 039359 3331.
Now, what's happening, like this is just coming into flower here. This is your Carpa Grotus. Now, Carpa Grotus, fabulous pink flowers. Now, this is if you've got a sand dune out the front of your place that's dry, you don't want to water, you want something low maintenance, something green, turnip green, and beautiful pink flowers all through winter and early spring. It's called Carpa Grotus. It is an Australian native. And you know you can eat this. It's actually quite a delicacy, really.
You can eat it.
Yeah. So your hot pink, and these are only $5.99.
And do you know why they're called Carpa Brotus?
No.
Because they're big and hefty. They're like bros in the garden.
Oh yeah. yeah. And then we've got it in yellow, also for $5.99. So you can get these in yellow. In the yellow ones are 6 inch, aren't they?
3
inch. Yeah. Oh, okay. No worries. So actually, they look a bit. How's your father? We have these. Now these ones have an amazing yellow flower, quite rare, and we're doing those in 6 inch pots this week for $5.99.
Chris, so Nanny's on TikTok and has said, what are the best plants to put on a 500 metre uphill driveway on a farm?
500 metre uphill driveway on a farm. Kind of depends where it is a little bit.
And if you're looking for like trees or shrubs.
Yeah, but maybe some sort of combo. Like something really tough. We've got Italian field maples. They're actually on the sale this week. Italian field maples, beautiful little, fabulous little maple. Take heat, wind, drought, poor soils. Don't grow too big. And if you were to plant those and then pop in a few Dioides butterfly grass in between them, so that would be your Dioides butterfly grass would be a wonderful combo up a driveway, like low maintenance and tough. And then Italian field maple, Acer campestri, beautiful little maple tree that's as tough as tough. And the council use them all around here as street trees, and they don't water them or do nothing with them, and they grow into beautiful luscious little maples that really survive. We're in the north side of Melbourne here, and it's tough, and they do really, really well.
So Nanny's just told us that they're in Kinglake West.
Kinglake West. So I say Kinglake West, clay soil. You could probably go a little bit more exciting than that. Something like perhaps a sensation maple. A sensation maple, 4 months of the year you've got beautiful. Say you did sensation maple, and then like those little Nandinas that we've got, little dwarf Nandinas, because you're in slightly better country than I imagine.
And so get great colour.
Yeah, little dwarf Nandinas, because it's a bit cold and miserable up there in the winter. It'll actually warm the whole look of your farm. You look up there, beautiful red Nandinas all the way up and down the driveway, and then some sensation maples. Look fantastic.
Beautiful. I hope that's been helpful, Nanny.
Right, so now we're up to Priority White Star Cream. So here's your Priority here. Beautiful little starry white flowers. It looks like, you have a look, it's like a little moss. And this time of year they're asleep, they're not flowering. But this is like a beautiful little green moss that you could grow in the cracks in your paving or something like that. So beautiful little green moss. Beautiful little starry white flowers, and they're cheap. They're cheaper than cheap. They're what we've got here. They're $5.99. So $5.99 for White Star Pratias. You could buy a couple of dozen of them, make a little border, put them all around your pavers, and fabulous plants. So let's do all the Saxifragas at once. So what we've got here is Saxifraga. Now Saxifraga, if you're looking for a bit of winter colour, absolutely fantastic. Now what we've got here is we've got a beautiful lime, we've got a beautiful lime one, and we've got a white one. Look at those together. Look at the subtle difference. There's your white and your lime together. Look at that, so white and lime. Now what's great is that a lot of nurseries would be charging $12, $14 for these. We've got these for $7.99, and then we've got the red and the pink, and we've got the red, the pink, the red, the pink, and the Picotee. So there we are, there's the red one there, pink one and Picotee, red, Picotee and pink. Look at that, beautiful combination there. Now you could get the whole collection of these, $7.99 for under $40. You can have a whole collection. These make a beautiful cottage plant, a lovely little, a beautiful pot plant, a beautiful hanging basket, or a beautiful little border. And you could buy the whole collection for under $40, or you could buy 10 of one. These white ones, they're coming onto flower. You can see that they flower. These other ones here are just coming into flower, whereas your white ones have been flowering for ages and they're very sort of full and complete. Your white ones would be great if you're doing a green and white style garden. So there we are, $7.99 and Saxifraga.
All right, so if you've missed part of the live stream, because we've been running for a little while now, no worries at all. Once we wrap up today's live stream will be available on our YouTube channel. You can watch it back anytime and still place your orders as long as it's before 12 o'clock next Friday when the next live sale starts, or before the stock runs out.
Yeah. Now I'm going to say something very important right now. The free Weeping Cherries are on me. That's right. So what's happening, here we are. Here we have a beautiful pink Weeping Cherry. This is a 6-foot Weeping Cherry. Now some nurseries would be charged $150. We charge $100 for these ones here, and they're great value for $100. This one here, you can get shorter ones if you want, but they're all $100. Short ones, tall ones. If you want one to go in a pot, you might want a shorter one than this. This one here is a falling snow. Beautiful white flowers in the springtime. Here's one of the shorter ones here, and what is this one here? This is also a falling snow. So these ones here, $100 each. Now you could specify which colour and which type you want. There's a whole information sheet up about these. But when you spend over $300, we're doing one of these $100 Weeping Cherries for free.
For free.
So that's why I say the free Weeping Cherries are on me.
Oh, Karen Webster, she said she's bought one.
Oh, fantastic.
Well done.
Yeah, that's great. So let's have a look here. Now what we've got here is we've got these Scleranthus biflorus. We've got them in a 10-inch or a 12-inch. Now these are beautiful big mossy plants, and they reduced, the 12-inch are reduced from 69 to 39, and the 10-inch are from 39 to 29. So that's your 10-inch there. That's $29.99. So if you want to put a real show on in the garden, and there's your 12-inch there for reduced from 69 to 39. Look at the size of that. And you could do the most beautiful things with these. You can grow them in a pot. You can grow them in a garden. You can grow them in a Japanese style grow. We also call them Zen moss. So sometimes we call them Zen moss. So these are great for your Zen style garden, and they're $29.99 and $39.99. Fantastic value.
Now, Chris, we've got C7 who's on YouTube. A little bit cheeky, says if we spend $600, do we get 2 Weeping Cherries?
Well, not normally, but I'll make an exception in his case.
Oh, C7, did you hear that?
Jump in and do it today, and we'll do that for you.
All right, well, if C7, you might want to jump on the phone. The telephone number is 039 359 3331 if you want to get yourself 2 Weeping Cherries if you spend over $600.
I like a challenge. Yeah, so here we are. We've got blue chalk sticks and pig's ears. Now, we put them both up together because they're both a great source of colour in the garden, and they're tough and they're low maintenance. Your chalk sticks, you can grow whole big areas of them, and same with your pig's ears. Lovely, and pig's ears look great when you mix them with your native Australian grasses. They look great mixing with, and I did a video the other day where somebody had mixed them in with all sorts of tropical plants, but that bright silver colour looks really good. And often I'll even use the chalk stick in some, when I'm doing a garden design with sort of a tropical style garden design. So pig's ear and chalk stick, fabulous value. The chalk sticks are down to $3.99, and the pig's ear is only $6.99.
Now, so, Chris, I did miss Karen has been back on TikTok, and she was asking about the scleranthus. Will it grow in shade?
No.
No. Okay,
No,
so
but
carry
if you've
on.
got a bit of shade, here's the answer. It's interesting that you asked me this question right at this time. So here's the answer. If you've got a bit of shade, it's called Sagina, or Golden Irish Lemon Lime Irish Moss, or Golden Irish Moss. So here it is, Sagina, and we've got your Saginas in, where is the Sagina? Sagina Lemon Lime, reduced from $9.99 to $6.99, so $6.99, and that gives you that beautiful mossy effect. I'll give you a close-up of that. That beautiful mossy effect in the garden for $6.99. Fantastic value.
So Chris, we've got Cinnapat, who's on TikTok and says, I see Chris, but where is Mari?
She's retired.
She's retired.
Yeah. So there we are now. What we've got...
And Nanny has just said that that's Sagina. She's got it around her fish pond.
Right. And how's it looking?
Nanny, you'll have to let us know how it's looking.
Yeah, so here we've got it. We've got a great big 20-inch pot English box. Great big 20-inch pot English box for $2.99. Look at that. Fantastic. For $2.99. This is quite an old established one. You've got your 6-inch pot English box. Now, English box is Melbourne's favourite plant. $4.99, and then if you're doing a big project on a budget, you've got these lovely little English boxes here for $1.99. So $1.99 English box. So $1.99 English box. And the reason why people sometimes need a lot of English boxes, when I'm planting a hedge, I put 5 to the metre. That's 20 centimetres apart, 5 to the metre. But it doesn't matter how you do it. You can go $2 each, and you can do a metre for $10. Or you can go $5 each and do a metre for $25. We are definitely the cheapest place to buy your English box.
Now, Chris, this might be a timely question. So Jem's on TikTok and has asked, hi, what's the best hedge to place to get that morning to midday sun? And how long does it take for them to grow? I think she's just asking about the box.
Okay, so English box, morning to midday sun, English box, fantastic. But say you wanted a taller hedge, or say I wanted a medium hedge, I might look at a Viburnum dense fence, and if I wanted a tall hedge in morning to midday sun, I might look at a Viburnum Sweet Viburnum.
Right.
Now let's do 2 of these at once. We've got 2 different ones up there. Let's get them both up here. Now here's some great bottle brush or callistemon. Now these ones here normally $16.99 each. It's called Red Rocket. Look at the size of that. Look at the vigor. I can feel the vigor in my hand. Look, feel like they're Red Rocket. This one has beautiful red new growth in springtime, and it has a red flower as well. And then we've got Green Envy. Now your neighbours will be envious if you plant this Green Envy in your garden. Your Green Envy it's a beautiful little compact one. Beautiful little compact one there. Have a look at that Green Envy. Now these ones here are reduced to $9.99. So $9.99. Fabulous native callistemons. A great way to get a few natives in the garden. Just $9.99.
So Chris, Nanny's just asking, how quick do those callistemons grow?
Well, that Red Rocket, I reckon you'd have it up a metre in a year.
Yeah, they're very quick.
The other one will be a bit slower because it's more of a miniature.
Yeah.
Now here we've got your Japanese Plum Yew. Now this is a beautiful sort of pencil type conifer that has a lot of character, really very exotic and wonderful plant. There they are there. Now your Japanese Plum Yew is only $21.99, so $21.99 to have a bit of real Japanese excitement in the garden. So there we are, $21.99.
$21.99. I might actually have to take some home myself, Chris.
Yeah. Now here we have, all over Melbourne, these diosmas are popping out into colour. These are going to be covered in pink flowers shortly. And your green diosma, which has the pink flowers, is fantastic. And these are only $10.99. Beautiful big bushy plant. Now where these could be good, a lot of people right now with the real house prices rising and the interest rates falling, a lot of people are putting a house on the market. And if you're putting a house on the market, you need something big, bushy and cheap. These ones here will be in flower in another 3 or 4 weeks, and they're going to flower right through the spring. These would be great to dress up your house if you're putting it on the market. Pink diosma at $10.99. You can, for under $100, you can get 9 of them. It's fantastic.
Now, Chris, Nanny's on TikTok, and just in relation to those callistemons, she said, awesome. My parrots love the flowers.
Great,
Because
love it.
being up in that King Lake area,
Yeah.
You know, there'll be lots of parrots up there.
Yeah, plenty of bird life. Now have a look here. Look at this. Now, if you want, a lot of people come in here and they tell me what they want is colour every day of the year in the garden. Look at the colour that we've got here. This is a Pacific Sunset Coprosma. Now, Coprosmas, grow them right on the beachfront, grow them on the top of a building that's all windswept, grow them anywhere, grow them in the frost, the heat, the drought, grow them anywhere and have beautiful year-round colour. This particular one's one of the hardest ones to get, Pacific Sunset, and these are just $29.99. Great bush for year-round colour. Grow it in a pot, grow it in the garden. I did some wonderful videos where these, the other day, where these had been mixed with beautiful bright green native grasses, and that made them cheap because they spread them right out and had a few native grasses in between each one. So the whole garden was quite cheap, but these put some beautiful, brilliant colour into the garden. So Pacific Sunset, $29.99, Coprosma Pacific Sunset. Now, have you ever dreamed of having a box that flowers? And I used to market these as bloomin' box because this is a box and they're not flowering very much at the moment because it's the middle of winter, but in spring and summer these will be flowering like crazy. Have a look at these beautiful little white flowers. Look at that. And we could call them today, let's call them, you could call them Cuphea, which sounds a bit boring, or you could call them bloomin' box. And they're bloomin' marvellous and they make a beautiful little box hedge that'll flower almost all year round. And you don't want to grow them sort of like if you're out in a scrub somewhere and it's real frosty, don't grow them there. But if you're in a nice warm spot down by the beach, you know, maybe down Brighton or Seaford or somewhere like that, this is a fabulous plant to have in a nice maritime climate. And it grows, it can be clipped into a hedge like an English box, but it blooms. So bloomin' box, Cuphea White, and they're $6.99 in a 6-inch pot. That's fantastic value.
Now, C7's back on YouTube and has asked, will Chinese Star Jasmine be part of this flash sale?
No,
Not
I don't
this
think
week.
so, but if you ring up, I'll put on a special little flash sale just for you.
So C7, if you're going to spend over $600, we will give you the 2 Weeping Cherries, and we'll give you a special deal on the Chinese Star Jasmine if you get on the phone.
Right, now what we've got here is Escallonia Iveyi. Now, Escallonia Iveyi, if you want a cottage-style hedge, a nice evergreen cottage-style hedge that has white flowers on it for 5 or 6 months of the year, it's Escallonia Iveyi. Beautiful dark green glossy foliage, lovely white flowers as you see here, fast-growing and tough, takes frost, heat, drought, poor soil, very, very hardy and tough. Escallonia Iveyi, normally $29.99, they've been reduced to $18.99. Now, one of the first Hebes to ever become popular in Australia, and it's stayed popular for the last 35-40 years, is Hebe Inspiration. This one has beautiful purple flowers, grows up a good metre tall, great for a hedge, great for a specimen, great to pop into a cottage garden. And Hebe Inspiration, normally $12.99. These are $6.99, so $6.99. Your local nursery, they're going to be $16.99, so $6.99 for Hebe Inspiration.
I'm inspired by that.
Very inspirational. Now the thing is, if you want access to these, you can go online and buy them. You just go where this QR code is here. You can ring up and buy them. You can just jump in the car and head down here and start buying these up. And if you're spending over $300 at the moment, let's have a look at that Weeping Cherry. Let's have a look what happens when you spend over $300. You get a free, whether you go online or come in store, you get a free Weeping Cherry. So there we are. Look at this beautiful. This is a falling snow. It's 6 foot tall. You've got shorter ones available. You can get white ones, pink ones. There's a nice short Weeping Cherry. Now these Weeping Cherries here, we're giving to keep us busy. I've got six or seven vans to keep on the road. I've got a truck to keep busy. I've got a whole staff of people, and we've got to keep busy for the next month or so while it's cold and wet. So to keep them all busy, if I've got to give away a couple of hundred Weeping Cherries, I don't care. I want to keep everyone busy. Otherwise, we'll be sitting around here shivering, looking at each other. So I'd rather be busy and warm, and keep people going and give away a couple of hundred Weeping Cherries. So if you jump in and you buy in this cold, miserable weather and get your garden going now, you'll benefit by having a free Weeping Cherry and free delivery and fabulous prices.
Hey Chris, when you were talking about the Cuphea before, you were talking about blooming box.
Yeah.
But I think the Hebe buxifolia is just as good a blooming box, if not better.
Yeah, well, so here's another blooming box. This is Hebe buxifolia. It has a box, it has a leaf just like an English box, beautiful dense dark green, and it has an amazing show in springtime of beautiful white flowers. You see the white flowers here, and these ones here are big bushy plants ready to make an instant hedge. If you were putting your house on the market in the spring, these could be a good value for money thing. These are only $16.99. So $16.99, masses of white flowers in springtime. You'll love it. Hebe buxifolia, down from $24.99 to $16.99. Now Laura Petal and Plum Gorgeous. Now this is one of the most gorgeous plants around. I wonder if we've got a nice big one of these we can show the people. But anyway, this is Laura Petal and Plum Gorgeous. Grows into a beautiful bushy plant. Has these amazing pink flowers in springtime. And has amazing pink flowers in springtime, lovely purple foliage, and there it is there, covered in pink flowers in the springtime. Laura Petal and Plum Gorgeous, normally $34.99, we've reduced them to $29.99. You can't go wrong with this. Beautiful, beautiful bit of colour for the garden.
Oh, Chris, we've got a nice bit of kudos for the boys here, for Tez and Suman. Nanny has said those young men are doing a good job keeping up.
They sure are, aren't they? Okay, so here we have, it's Indian hawthorn time. So here we have the Snow Maiden, and we've got them in 12-inch pots, beautiful big 12-inch pots of Snow Maiden, and they're down to $59.99. So, and what's interesting, if you're putting your house on the market this spring, these will be covered in white blossom this spring. Then we've got 6-inch pots. Look at these, really gutsy, nice 6-inch pots. Look at those ones there. And these 6-inch pots of Indian hawthorn are only $13.99. So $13.99 for beautiful 6-inch pots of Indian hawthorn. And then we've got the amazing snow pearl. Look at the snow pearl. Now your snow pearl is a natural green ball. And these ones here, how much are these? These are $59.99 for the 10-inch pot snow pearl. Incredible value. So there we are, snow pearl, $59.99. Yeah, now, Senkaki maple, these ones here are 6 foot tall and they're bare rooted. Now, what's great about this, in a 6 foot one of these, in a pot at the moment, is about nearly $200, but this one here, bare rooted, we've been selling a lot of these last couple of days, $69.99. Senkaki maple, beautiful red stems, amazing pinks and yellow, orange autumn colour. This is one of the best maples for year-round colour, bright red stems in the winter, and these are $69.99. So $69.99, 6 foot tall Japanese maple, Senkaki maple, one of the most sought after of all your maples, $69.99. Yeah. Now, one of the most sought after larger growing maples is your autumn red maple. There's a nice photographic label there. Have a look there. Have a look there, and have a look here. Yeah, so there it is. Your red maple grows into a beautiful tree, and these are only $39.99. Now, in a pot, something like this often sells for well over $100. So you're really saving big to get down here and get bare rooted. So now's the time to get down and get bare rooted.
All right. So, welcome if you've just joined us. We are running through some fantastic bargains today. If you want to jump onto any of these bargains when you see them come up, you can scan the QR code up on the screen, and you can that will take you straight to our sales page, which will where you'll find all of the bargains that we've got on offer today.
Yeah. And here, have a look here. This one here, that's the October Glory maple. But now what I'm going to here is I've got the Italian field maple. Now here it is, your Italian field maple. You can grow this as a hedge, grow it as a border, grow it as an avenue. It is the toughest maple I've ever come across. And that's it there in autumn colour. Beautiful autumn colour, lovely dense fine foliage. And round here, the local council uses them all over the place as street trees. And they make the most beautiful little, gorgeous little maple tree that has lovely autumn colour, lovely and lush and green in the summer, beautiful fine foliage, and tough. So if you're looking for a nice small tree, perhaps to run up a driveway, make a hedge, a border, a screen with. And they're really cheap. These are ridiculously cheap. They're $14.99. And have a look, I'm 6 foot tall and it's nearly up to my chin. So there we are. Actually, this one here is up to my chin and it's $14.99. Great start for $14.99. So here we've got a Jeffers Red Maple. Now Jeffers Red Maple, that's my favourite large growing fast autumn coloured maple. Now if you live sort of in a hot area like say Shepparton or Bendigo or Ballarat or something like that, a place with a really hot summer, you find your normal red maple might struggle a bit. This one will grow like fury. It'll grow and it'll grow in heavy clay soils and it'll have the most amazing red autumn colour like you see here. Beautiful bright red autumn colour, lovely for an avenue or something like that. Jeffers Maple, if you want beautiful red autumn colour and real hardiness, this is the one to get. And they're dirt cheap. They are $39.99. So $39.99. Now I had a bloke on the phone. He wanted a Japanese maple, and he wanted it. He was down Williamstown, heavy clay soil, fairly close to the beach, and he wanted a Japanese maple that would do well. And I said to him, Trident Maple. Trident Maple is a 3-pointed leaf. It has fantastic autumn colour. That's it there, hard glossy leaf. Great if you're near the beach. So if you're after a Japanese maple that's tough, that's 3 times tougher than your normal Japanese maple, you go for a Trident Maple, and it is one of the most beautiful maples. And when I was travelling around Japan years ago, I expected to see the Japanese maple, which we have popular here. It's the #1 maple I'd see everywhere. But what I saw everywhere in Japan was Trident Maple. This is the #1 maple in Japan, used as a street tree, a garden specimen, a bonsai. They were everywhere, and it is one of the toughest maples that you can get, and it's just as beautiful as any other Japanese maple. So Trident Maple, and these beautiful Trident Maples are only $14.99.
Chris, Nanny was asking in relation to the Jeffers Red Maple, but it's probably appropriate for the Trident Maple as well. Will they grow in Kinglake West too?
They'll thrive there.
They'll thrive in Kinglake West.
Absolutely thrive. They'd be fabulous maples. And your Japanese maple's going to do really well in Kinglake West. And these look, I'm 6 foot. These are as tall as me, and they're $11.99. So $11.99 for your classic Japanese maple. And you can have the red, yellow, orange autumn colour. Beautiful tree to have, and $11.99.
Chris, Andy Glitter is on TikTok and has asked, do you guys ship interstate?
We'll do anything to sell a plant.
We can get these plants interstate. Depends on where you are. If you're in the west, a little bit more tricky. Or in Tasmania.
Tasmania and it's easier to ship to Germany than it is to Tasmania or Perth. So we don't do Tasmania or Perth, but South Australia and New South Wales and Queensland we do quite often.
Well, there you go, Andy, because Andy's in South Australia.
Cool, we can do that. So now here we've got a sugar maple. Now sugar maples, my dad used to reckon that these were the best autumn colour tree. They have this amazing sort of burnt orangey kind of colour, amazing autumn colour, really incredible autumn colour. So your American sugar maple, beautiful tree, does really well in Australia. A little bit slow growing the first couple of years, then it takes off. And these ones here, sugar maples, are only $14.99. So $14.99, and for $14.99 you're getting a very nice rare tree. Now, if you live in a hot, difficult spot and you've struggled with silver birches, you can grow the Black River birches. Will grow anywhere in Victoria. They'll grow in hot, dry locations that are difficult to grow other birches. They're twice as tough as normal birch. They'll also grow in wet, swampy situations, so they'll grow in lots of places where other birches won't grow. They have amazing shaggy bark, beautiful foliage. They're a wonderful tree. And these ones here, Black River birch, they've done them for $14.99. So $14.99, you can't go wrong with a couple of Black River birches. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So here we've got your silver birch. They're they're very generous 3 foot tall. Look at that, it's up to my chin nearly. So very generous 3 foot tall. Silver birches, $9.99. So $9.99, you can't go wrong. Nice silver birch. Now silver birches, do you know if you put those in, what they love is they like no grass or weeds around the base, a little bit of small regular doses of fertiliser, plenty of water through the summer. You could easily get them up 3 more meters in a year. Now Natchez, like a 6-foot Natchez in a pot, normally costs $150, $200. These ones are $50. So $50. Natchez has beautiful bark. That's the bark of the Natchez there. Beautiful bark. It has beautiful summer flowers. We'll see those in a sec, hopefully. So beautiful. There's your Natchez crepe myrtle there. Beautiful bark. Lovely shaped tree. And then it has beautiful autumn colour. There's your autumn colour you see on the screen there. So lovely autumn colour. And then beautiful white flowers. Let's hope we see some beautiful white flowers there in a flash. Yeah, there we are. So summer white flowers. So amazing bark, incredible autumn colour, and then these summer white flowers. And this one here is Natchez crepe myrtle. It's $50. So $50 for a beautiful crepe myrtle. And Natchez is one of my favourite crepe myrtles. I love the autumn colour. Now what have we got here? We've got a black Genoa fig. They are $9.99. So $9.99 for a black Genoa fig. Reduced from $31.99. So $31.99 down to $9.99. Figs grow quickly. They produce lots of fruit. They're easy to grow. I think it's one of the easiest fruit trees to get fruit from. Now we've got a Hicks Fancy Mulberry, bare rooted, reduced from $69.99 to $59.99. Now what's great about these within a year or two you've got a great big tree covered in beautiful sort of like blackberries, and you can make a pie with them, you can make jam with them, you can eat them fresh off the tree. Kids seem to love them. They love, as a kid I loved to go out and picking mulberries and eating mulberries. So mulberries, wonderful tree to have. One of the most productive and easy to grow fruit trees around, and only $59.99.
And Chris, we do have a question from Anna Nadella on Facebook. I think Anna was asking in relation to the crepe myrtle Natchez, is it bird attracting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Birds.
So it's great for perching. It's got wonderful flowers on it.
Nice and dense, good
That's
place for
right.
the birds to hide out. Yeah.
Yeah. Great
Okay.
tree.
So now here we've got a picoline olive, beautiful big, like I'm 6 foot, look at this olive here, beautiful big bushy olive, and it's $59.99, reduced from $79.99 to $59.99. Grow it in a pot, grow it as a hedge, grow it as a border, grow it for fruit, grow it for beauty, grow it for whatever. It's a really useful plant. Even some people are putting them indoors. So $59.99 for a beautiful big bushy olive. And then here we've got the Athena olive. Now your Athena is a large table olive that could also be used for oil, and these are dirt cheap, great for the farm, great for around the factory. $12.99, $12.99 for a 1 metre tall Athena Greek large fruited olive. Now what we've got, I think this is my favourite plum. Had one of these next to our house when I was a kid. These have purple bark, purple on the outside of the fruit, purple on the inside of the fruit, so they're purple inside and out. Very, very tasty, beautiful. Some plums can be a bit tart to eat straight off the tree. These are beautiful and sweet to eat straight off the tree, but you can make jam out of them, you can stew them, you can do all different things with them. And this is a miniature one, it's never going to get too big. And it's reduced to $59.99, I reckon. So $54.99. So $54.99 for $69.99 down to $54.99. So probably my favourite plum.
Beautiful.
Now here we've got a beautiful big, this is a funny sort of thing. It's a big, beautiful big dwarf apricot. It's bare rooted. And it's a story apricot, which is a really lovely eating apricot, and only $54.99. And this is a dwarf apricot, never going to get too big. $54.99, fabulous value. And what's good about apricots is apricots don't need a cross-pollinator. They don't need a friend as such. They'll look after themselves. And this one here is a Tilton apricot. It's a dwarf, and it's only $54.99. So $54.99 for a dwarf Tilton apricot.
Now, Chris, I think we probably need to remind folks that not only if you spend more than $300 on anything in the next week, not only will you get free shipping, If you're, you know, anywhere between, say, Traralgon, Ballarat, Bendigo, Shepparton, etc., etc. But you'll also get a free $99 Weeping Cherry. We've been showing those throughout the live stream. We'll show them again.
Yeah.
But
yeah, let's have a look at one of these Weeping Cherries. Now, yeah, because what it is I have a bit of a situation here, and that is that I've got 6 vans, I've got 40 staff, and this can be a really cold, miserable month this will be a cold, miserable month ahead that we've got, where people won't come out of the house, they won't come down to the nursery, they won't get out in the garden. And what we need to do is, it's called inducement. So we've got to induce people to get out of the house, induce them to get into the garden, and induce them to come down to the nursery. So what we're going to do is, you spend over $300, you've got free delivery, and you've got a free Weeping Cherry. So a free Weeping Cherry. These are $100 Weeping Cherries. You can have a short one, a tall one, a pink one, or a white one. You choose. But whether you come and buy online, or you buy over the phone, or you come in store, a free $100 Weeping Cherry for the person who spends over $300. And what this is going to do, I might have to give away quite a few hundred of these, but it'll keep my vans working, keep all my staff busy and warm, and we won't be sitting around shivering looking at each other. So here we are. Now this is the deal of the week. This is a William Bond Cretin pear. Beautiful eating pear, great for cooking, great for all sorts of things. And you've got this, whereabouts is it? William Bond Cretin here we are, reduced from $110 to $19.99. So
this would be repeat that, because that just doesn't sound right. It was
William
110.
Bond Cretin pear, it's 6 foot tall, nice and bushy, and we've knocked it down to $20, $19.99.
From $110.
That's right.
That is the deal of the day.
We've got to induce people. We want people to get out of the house and come down to our nursery.
Okay, so we have got, I think we're over on Instagram. We've got Audie's Heats Wetstein, who says, can't wait to receive my online bare rooted roses delivery today.
Wow, great, fantastic.
Thanks for shopping with us.
Yeah, thanks for shopping with us. And we've got thousands of roses out there, and we've got the best selection and best prices in Melbourne on roses. So right now, what we've got is we've got strawberries, and these are beautiful little strawberries. They are ready to start. These are not seedling ones, but they're ones produced from runners, and you'll find that these will be fruiting before Christmas. You'll be off the grid with strawberries before Christmas with these ones here. And these ones here are only $4.99. So $4.99 for a beautiful little strawberry plant.
And Chris, is it a good time to give the folks a good hot tip on how to get good fruit from their strawberries? So the first sign of flowers, to hit them with a rose feed, because they're in the Rosaceae family.
Ah, right, okay, so that's a great idea. So what happens as soon as you see them start to flower, hit them with a bit of rose food, and they'll just boom away and produce mountains and mountains of fruit for you. Now what we've got here is blueberries, and we've got the sunshine blue and the blue rose. Now you'll see that these have beautiful autumn colour, and that's what these ones here have dropped their leaves. They had beautiful autumn colour a few weeks ago, but this is the sunshine blue here, lovely autumn colour, and the blue rose. Now one way of getting plenty of fruit is to plant 2 different ones and have them cross-pollinating with each other. It's a great way to increase your fruit. So I'd buy a couple of each of these. And these ones here, like, look at the size of these ones here, nearly 40-50 centimetres tall, beautiful bushy plants. And look at the price. The price is $9.99. You've never ever been able to buy bigger, bushier blueberries for $9.99.
Chris, we've got Roz of Tanduka on Facebook who says, love the sales.
Thank you very much. And what people are going to love more than anything is you spend over $300, now's the time to spend, and you've got your free Weeping Cherry.
Absolutely.
$100 Weeping Cherry.
So Emily has joined us on Instagram, has asked, do blueberries normally drop their leaves?
Yes.
Yes, they absolutely do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're a deciduous berry. They come from like the northern parts of Europe and America.
They've got to be able to survive the deep snow they get buried under.
Yeah, that's right. Now we've got your dwarf blue agapanthus. Now I love dwarf blue agapanthus because it's just as tough as the big agapanthus, but they're a lot sweeter, much prettier foliage, lovely little flowers. There they are there. Wonderful way to make a border, lovely thing to mass plant and have a beautiful low. And one idea, like, look at those beautiful blue flowers there. What I reckon would be a fabulous thing to do is get a jacaranda, because these ones flower at the same time. As you pop a jacaranda in, then put these all around it and have blue on blue. Fabulous thing. So dwarf blue agapanthus, great for mass planting, 6-inch pots, $8.99. How can you go wrong with that? Dwarf blue agapanthus, and there's 3 or 4 of them in every pot at $8.99.
Wow, it looks like this one's just stepped out of the salon.
Yeah, so here we've got Carex Frosted Curls. This is a gorgeous little plant. It sort of flops over, makes a beautiful rockery plant. Great for, I've noticed these days some landscape architects are mass planting these and they look really, really good. And what's great about them, at $4.99, you're not going to go broke mass planting them. You know, you could plant 50 of them for $250 and do a whole big corner of your garden and make it look very modern and smart. So Carex Frosted Curls, 3-inch pot, and they're $4.99.
Now, Chris, we've got a couple of comments. So Emily had said that she wished she could. She's in Queensland. I'm sorry, I'm not too sure what that reference was to, but I'll keep on top of it from here on in. Adorn Avenue Landscape says, if we spend more than $300, would you be able to deliver to Sydney?
Not for free, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Sydney, like our plant prices are much cheaper than Sydney, and basically a pallet of plants, which would be, you know, depending on what the size of the plant, could be 100, 120 plants. A pallet of plants is around $500 into Sydney.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So you could, you know, if you're after a couple of trees and a few bushes and some grasses and bits and pieces, we can deliver into Sydney. But you're talking $500. And you need, or if it's something a little rare specialty thing, we can post it in to Sydney.
Yeah, small things we can post.
But yeah, free delivery not happening into Sydney, unfortunately.
Chris,
so what?
Nanny's on TikTok and has said, we dug out all of the agapanthus and put them up the hill of their property and they're growing like crazy. Well, in King Lake you would expect that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Agapanthus will do great up there. Now we've got your Dianella breeze, a beautiful green lush native grass. Look at the size of these. If you're putting a property on the market and you need to lush it and green it up, you couldn't go wrong with these. These are $8.99. Look at the size. Look what you get for $8.99. Look at this here. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. $8.99 Dianella breeze. If you're a landscaper, your client's going to love you if you pop these in at $8.99 for them. Now here's your Dianella Compact Blue. These are in 8-inch pots and we're giving them away for $9.90. So you can make a really beautiful instant impact. So if you're a landscaper, this is a great deal for you, $9.99. Beautiful big plants. Make that garden look established straight away for $9.99. Dianella Compact Blue, a really hardy, beautiful little Dianella. Now also, if you're a landscaper, whether you're a home gardener or a landscaper, you can't go beautiful little blue fescues. These are in 3-inch pots and they're only $3.99. So these are beyond blue and they're bluer than blue. And then you've got the beautiful, neat little Elijah Blue, one of the most popular of the fescues. Lovely, neat little Elijah Blue. 6-inch pots, most places you'll be paying $12 or $14 for them. These are down to $6.99. So look at that, $6.99, beautiful little neat blue fescue for $6.99. You can't go wrong.
And Adorn Avenue Landscapes said that they love this plant, and I'm pretty sure they were talking about the Carex Frosted Curls.
Yeah, incredible value at $4.99, beautiful plant. Now, here's your Knotted Cloud Rush. Now, your Knotted Cloud Rush, great for a native garden. And these are good solid plants, sort of plants that a lot of people sell in a 6-inch pot for $10 to $12, and we're giving these away for $3.99. Look at that, really decent, respectable plant for $3.99. Look at that for $3.99. You cannot go wrong for $3.99. So great for the native garden, $3.99.
So Chris, Adorn Avenue Landscapes has asked, what is the minimum spend limit to receive paid delivery to Sydney?
Look, we'd have to shoot us a quote.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want, and we'll work out a delivered quote for you. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so if you Adorn Avenue Landscapes, if you give us a call or send us an email with just the things that you need, then we can give you a quote for the delivery to Sydney.
Now this is variegated mondo grass. This one grows much bigger than your normal mondos. This will end up about, I don't know, 40 centimeters tall. Beautiful, and I'll use this in my garden designs. I use this when I want to get a bit of brightness in it. It's a bit dark, it's a bit dull. I need a bit of brightness. And what's interesting, this will grow in the sun or the shade. I found it's very versatile where it'll grow. But when I want a bit of brightness, I'll put this in. It just brightens it up. You know, maybe a dark shady corner. It's a bit dull and dark. Brighten it right up with some of this variegated mondo grass.
So I'll just give the telephone number just in case. So we've got our telephone number if you want to give us a call to lasso any of these bargains. It's 0393593331, and our friends at Adorn Avenue Landscape said that they're going to give us a call.
Great, thank you. Now what we've got here is this is your variegated society garlic that has these beautiful little lavender flowers on it for 5-6 months of the year. But when it's not flowering, it has this beautiful, colourful foliage. Look at this lovely sort of silver grey kind of foliage, really beautiful foliage. Now that's it there. Now if you wanted to mass plant these, we've got them in 3-inch pots. They're only little tackers, but they come on very quickly, and we've got them for $4.99 in a 3-inch pot. So you could afford these make a beautiful low maintenance border, or you can pop them here and there in the garden. So great value at $4.99, variegated society garlic. Now, yeah, so what we've got here is your sweet viburnum. Now, perhaps you're putting them probably on the market. You need something big, green, bushy, and cheap. These ones here are $37.99. I was going to say $49.99. They'd be cheap. At $37.99, it's a bit like shoplifting. Like $37.99. Look at the size and the quality and the bushiness of that. So sweet viburnum, $37.99. Big, bushy, 10-inch pots. So $37.99. Sweet viburnum, great in the shade, great in a sun or shady spot, in a bit of a difficult spot. They're fabulous value, and I plant them about 90 centimeters apart. So sweet viburnum down to $37.99.
Chris, Ness just made me laugh. So Ness is on TikTok, and Ness said about the society garlic, it smells like mouldy garlic. Well, I'm not going to disagree with that, but some people really dig it.
Yeah, well, look, what it is only really when you touch it, it gives off that garlicky smell. And when you're working on it in the nursery, your hands can get quite smelly with it. But when it's just growing in the garden, you never smell it.
And it always looks good.
Yeah, and it flowers for a lot of the year, but it's true. When you touch it and that, it does smell a bit like mouldy garlic. Now, have a look at this here. Beautiful big weeping lily pilly, reduced from $229.99 to $189.99. So $189.99. It's well over 2 meters tall, and these are thick and bushy. This is a fast-growing lily pilly hedge. It doesn't fruit hardly at all in Melbourne. The bugs don't like it. It's probably the best lily pilly hedge to have in Melbourne. It's the most trouble-free. No bugs, no fruit, fast-growing, bushy and evergreen. Fabulous weeping lily pilly. Fabulous viburnum, and fabulous weeping lily pilly, and $189.99, 2 meters tall, great value.
Chris, Ness has said that her whole estate has it planted, and she doesn't really like the smell when it rains.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. So now what we've got here is the Leighton's green conifer in 10-inch pots. Now these are amazing. They're 6 foot tall and they're $34.99. So if you need a big screen in a hurry, at $34.99, these 10-inch pots, you cannot go wrong at $34.99. So $34.99, Leighton's green, one of the best. Look, that's a beautiful Leighton's green hedge there. That's another beautiful Leighton's green hedge there. Wonderful hedge, fast growing, thick, bushy, fantastic, and at $34.99 you cannot go wrong. Now what we've got is your ficus flash, 16-inch pot, reduced to $159.99. Look at that, they're a couple of meters tall, $159.99. And if you want a fast-growing, lush green hedge, fantastic, and a couple of meters tall, you're normally paying quite a lot of money. These are very, very cheap at $159.99.
So Chris, Nessa said these are great prices. Now Kimmy, who's on TikTok, said, can they handle shade? Now, this was what we had out when Kim made the comment. So I think I think Kemet, just confirm in the chat if this is the one you were talking about.
Well, the one that I said would handle shade and is excellent in the shade is your
Waterhouse,
your Sweet Viburnum.
Oh, Sweet Viburnum.
Sweet Viburnum is great in the shade. None of those other ones. So if you've got a shady spot, you really can't go wrong with Sweet Viburnum. But if you've got to fix up a shady spot, you can always talk to one of our staff and they can guide you a little bit on whatever size plant or coloured plant that you want and what's going to go good in the shade.
Beautiful, thank you. I hope that's been. So it was the one before the ficus. So
Yeah.
that was.
Now you're
the
online,
latest
you're looking at these fabulous deals and fabulous prices. You're probably wondering how you could possibly get them. Well, first of all, we do free delivery when you spend over $300, all the way from Traralgon across to Bendigo, Ballarat, up to Shepparton, down to Geelong, and right down into the surf beaches down there. And so free delivery when you spend over $300. And right now this week we're giving away a free Weeping Cherry. It's unbelievable, a $100 Weeping Cherry completely for free when you spend over $300. Now here's one here. This is a falling snow. This is a white Weeping Cherry, and not so you could be living in Traralgon. You could put together an order of over $300, get a free delivery, and then get a beautiful free Weeping Cherry.
Sounds great. That's a great
So,
deal.
and the thing is that you probably think, what the heck? Why are they doing that? What it is, I've got 6 or 7 vans. I've got 40 staff. The next month could be cold, it could be wet, it could be miserable, and we've got to give people an inducement to get them down to the nursery, to get them out into the garden and get them ordering and getting some, and keeping our vans and keeping our people moving, because otherwise we'd be just sitting around shivering and looking at each other. So there we are. A big inducement to keep a big organisation moving right through the winter. I might have to give away 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 of these cherries to keep us moving.
Chris, so we've got Cameron Taylor who is on TikTok and has asked in relation to the junipers, I believe, are these good companion plants for sativas and indicas?
Yes, they certainly would be, yes. Yeah.
Good.
So we had these blue, whereabouts were they? The blue. The Skyrocket Pencil Pines 12-inch pot, $99.99 down to $49.99. They're half price, so $49.99, half price. They're Skyrocket, the blue juniper, beautiful landscape plant. Now these are fantastic. Now Miles' Choice is a very special, compact, bushy, hedging specimen topiary bay tree, and you could use it in your cooking, but it's the best one. It's the cleanest, neatest, nicest one for growing as a hedge. And these ones are really good size 6-inch pot, and they're only $10.99. Look at the size of what you get for $10.99. Look at that there. Look at that, $10.99 bay tree. You cannot go wrong. So Miles' Choice, $10.99.
Chris Eric Pisces is on Instagram and said, I need some root balls taken out before I can start planting.
Right.
Well, it's cold. It's a good way to warm up.
Yeah, now get out there and get digging, hey? So now box leaf privet reduced from $6.99 to $3.99. These are beautiful, healthy little plants. Now what's great, these will produce an English box style hedge. If you put them in, keep them well watered, well fertilised, these could be a metre tall, not in a year, but by the end of summer. These could be a metre tall, a beautiful metre tall hedge. Plant 4 of them to the metre. Ligustrum box leaf privet, $6.99. What?
Down to $3.99.
$6.99, worth $6.99, now $3.99. So $3.99 plant 4. That's $12 if you plant 4 to the metre. It's $12 a metre. Now here we have your Big Gem Magnolia. Your Big Gem Magnolia, otherwise known as an Exmouth Magnolia, it has great big white flowers, and they appear in summer and they're fragrant. Now 3 or 4 flowers, now they don't flower a real lot, but you could have 3 or 4 flowers on one of these and your whole backyard will be full of a gorgeous heavenly fragrance. And now your Big Gem, if you're sick of little gems that sort of take forever to grow, your Big Gem is the answer. Your Big Gem is just like a little gem, but it grows faster and bigger, has bigger white flowers, bigger leaves, bigger everything. And with your So you can grow a nice big hedge or screen in no time with a very hardy, fast growing one that'll produce the most amazing, for months and months in the summer. You'll have the most beautiful white fragrant flowers that on a hot summer's night will just fill the whole garden with fabulous fragrance. Now these are real cheap. They are $16.99. That's $20 off. So $20 off the normal price, $16.99 for the Big Gem or Exmouth Magnolia.
Now, Chris, we're absolutely rocketing our way through this list this week, which is a very big list as compared to normal. Now, if anybody has seen anything they really liked, they want to jump on those bargains, then you can click the link in our pinned comments on any of our social platforms, or you could scan the QR code that's on the screen. That will take everybody directly to our flash sale webpage, where you can find all of the bargains that we're talking about today.
Yes, that's right. And you can ring up, you can come down here, you can buy these plants here. And here's another fabulous reason to get out in the garden while it's cold and wet. These in springtime, these will be $50 each. But right now, you've got your white fairy magnolia. They're 1 meter tall, going to have beautiful white flowers, and they have white fragrant flowers. And these are reduced from $29.99 to $19.99. Now I bet you if you wait till springtime, you'll have trouble buying a fairy magnolia 1 meter tall for under $50. So there you are, $19.99 for the fairy, the white fairy magnolia. Now what we're going to have now is we're going to have some Photinia. And what we've got is we've got two Photinias here. We've got your Super Red. Now your Super Red has brilliant red foliage in springtime, and it's tighter and denser than your normal Photinia. These are in a 10-inch pot, and they're nice and big and bushy, and they're only $34.99. So $34.99 for the Super Red. And then what you've got is you've got your Red Robin. This is your Red Robin here. Your Red Robin are bigger, faster grower, beautiful big plants, 10-inch pots. They're 1.5, 1.6 meters tall. And your Red Robin reduced from $59.99 to $34.99. So $34.99, and they're 1.5 meters tall. So if you wanted a beautiful hedge that's going to give you amazing red foliage in springtime, and again through the summer and again in the autumn, like red foliage a few times a year, Red Robin is the answer, and they are $34.99.
Chris, Nessa's back on TikTok and has said, wow, these prices are unbeatable today. Do you deliver to New South Wales?
Yes, we do, but we need to quote, depending on where you are, we can work out what you want, we'll quote a delivery to New South for you.
Sounds great.
And when you look at New South Wales prices, our prices are even more spectacular than when you compare them with your Victorian prices.
So we might say to Ness to give us a call on 039359 and talk to the sales staff, and they'll give you a quote for what you're looking for.
Now at most nurseries, a beautiful big box ball. Look at this box ball here, beautiful big box ball like this. Look at that, beautiful. It's taken 4 or 5 years to grow, beautifully crafted box ball. You can expect costs $300. So I've even heard of them costing $400 for a nice big box ball. These ones here, we're giving them away for $99. So $99 for a fantastic, beautifully trimmed English box ball, and that'll come on fabulously in the garden in spring. So make your garden look really modern and smart. And most people think about box balls, they think they can't afford a nice big box ball, but at $99 you could probably afford 4 or 5 of them. So 4 or 5 box balls, fantastic way to dress up your garden, look at smart and modern. Maybe you've got a real classy house and you want to put it on the market this spring. You couldn't go wrong putting in a few of these $99 box balls. Okay, now here we've got a blue Atlas Cedra, Cedrus atlantica glauca is the proper name for it. So blue, and these have the most amazing blue foliage. Now what's fabulous about these is you can trim them and shape them. So these, and you could use this as a Christmas tree out in the middle of the garden. The rest of you would make a fabulous ornamental tree. So sort of a Christmas style tree, a beautiful, in a sort of a classic style garden. You couldn't go wrong. You can trim and shape it to whatever shape or size you want. These are grafted blue cedars, normally $500. We've reduced this to $329. And at $329, you can get free delivery over most of Victoria, because when you spend over and we chuck in $100 weeping cherry. So you could buy this one here, get a $100 weeping cherry on the side, and have it delivered way out to Yale or somewhere.
That's pretty amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Now, Chris, JMC has said hi on YouTube.
Hi JMC.
And JMC has said, is the deal for everyone who spends more than $600 that they can have 2 weeping cherries, please?
You'd have to persuade me. Give me a ring and we'll work it out.
Give us a call.
It's not for everybody, but it could be for you. So here we got a Japanese black pine. Was $39.99, now $29.99. Now these can be turned into the most beautiful bonsais, most beautiful topiaries. If you want to do a classic Japanese style garden, or if you're looking for a hobby, get one of these and trim it and train it and turn it into. Google the Japanese black pine, cloud pruned on the internet, and you can see how you could turn having a Japanese black pine into a little hobby for yourself. There's a kind of a new interest. And this one here is going to set you back $29.99.
Chris, I tell you what, the people that tune into this live stream, they are observant. Nanny has said the cats had to be part of the show running behind Chris Lowell. They've been running all over the place today.
That's right. With these cats, we've trained them to perform here. So here we've got some pine trees. Now, if you wanted a cheap pine to go into your Japanese style garden, these Mugos here have been reduced to $89.99. They're a beautiful little dwarf pine. So Pinus Mugo, $89.99. And then you've got your super duper classic Yatsabusa pine. And these ones here are your Yatsabusa pine. We're letting them go from $269. We're doing them for $199. So $199 for your Yatsabusa pine. Have we got a proper set of these? Yeah. Oh, good. Okay, no, it's okay. So now we've got, so you've done your pine trees. We've got your lime creed egg pot. So let's have a look at your lime creed egg pot. Yeah, that's your Mugo pine. We've done that. Your Mugo pine. If you ordered a beautiful ornamental pine to grow in a pot or grow out in the garden, $89.99 in a 12-inch pot. Fabulous value. Now look at these. These pots are fantastic, and the reason why they're fantastic is the reason why you may not realise at first, but basically they've got no hole in them. These have got these pot, and you think, what's the good of a pot with no hole? Well, what's good is that my daughter-in-law, she decorated a house, and she wanted some nice indoor plants, and we used these ones here because the indoor plants aren't going to drip on the carpet with these because they've got no hole in them. So these are fantastic for indoor decoration, and if you're using them outdoors, just drill a hole, boom, like that, and you've got a hole. But what's great about these is the price. Normally $249.99 for a set. These are $129.99. Now normally you could pay for a nice big pot like this. This is a beautiful finished pot, lime creek pot. You could normally pay for a beautiful pot like this. You could normally pay $129. So these other two pots could be considered as being free when you buy the set. So $129.99. Lime creek pots, beautiful, beautiful colour, and lovely, thin, light, easy to carry pots, and $129 for the set of 3. Now, in my garden designs, one of my favourite plants is this Crimson Century. And the reason why I love the Crimson Century, it grows as a beautiful purple column, as you see here. It grows a beautiful purple column. You can just do 2 or 3 at a clump. You can put them up the side of a place and do it as a screen. But purple foliage in spring, purple foliage in summer, and purple foliage in the autumn. Then right at the start of winter, they go bright orange and the leaves drop off. But they grow as a tall, narrow column. So when you put them in front of a beautiful modern home, they're not going to block the house off from the street. They just obscure it a little. So that purple colour goes really nicely where people have got those sort of whites and the creamy sort of whites and sandstone colours and greys. This purple seems to go really, really well with most of your modern architecture. So beautiful purple, upright, narrow-growing tree. And these ones here, normally $300, they're reduced to $169.99. $169.99. Now, one of the best autumn colour trees is your Asakura Japanese maple. But here's an Asakura Japanese maple. This is a seedling that a chap from up in Monbulk grew, and it was a chance seedling. And what it does is it produces these amazing red tips. See these beautiful red tips? And then, but this is an Asakura. It has a big dark leaf. It's a beautiful spreading maple. It doesn't grow too tall. Beautiful spreading maple. It has amazing spring foliage you see here. But then in autumn, your Asakura, I think, has the best autumn colour of any. So it'll be dark green through the summer and into the autumn. And then right at the end of autumn, amazing, brilliant red autumn colour. So it really is an Asakura. And this is a fabulous value one. It's reduced from $159.99 to $129.99. So $129.99, it's a 2.2 metre maple, beautiful maple, and $129.99. You really can't go wrong. Now have a look at this Senkaki maple here. I think that this would be 5 or 6 years old since it was grafted, probably 7 years old since it was grown as a seed. Nice big advanced tree, not $500 but $310. Now your Asakura is the one that looks bright red all through the winter, and then in springtime you've got bright red branches and beautiful pale green foliage, and then in autumn you've got pinks and oranges and really interesting autumn colour. So Senkaki maple reduced from $4.99 to $310. Now we talked about the Trident Maple earlier on. Now your Trident Maple is a small leaf Japanese maple, but it only has 3 points instead of 5 points. Beautiful autumn colour tree, but what's great about this is for heat, if you've got wind, if you're a little bit coastal, if you've got poor soils, this is a fast growing, beautiful looking Japanese maple that's much hardier than your normal Japanese maple. I had a guy ring me up from Williamstown the other day and he said, look, what sort of maple I grow? Well, I grow this or that. And we worked out near the beach, heavy clay soil. I said Trident maple, beautiful maple, but tough. And so Trident maple, $229 normal price. These are only $99. It's 2.5 metres tall. You can't go wrong. Trident maple.
All right. So Chris, I think Hairflex, who's joined us on TikTok, has said that's a stick, lol.
That's right.
They all look like that at this time of the year, Hairflex.
Yeah, that's right. But they won't be sticks. In spring, they'll be covered in beautiful foliage.
And Hairflex has also said, love his outfit, very dapper.
Okay, now what we've got here is Japanese maple. These are 6 foot tall, and this is ready to form a beautiful Japanese maple in the garden. This is your basic form of Japanese maple. Green in the spring, green in the summer, red, orange and yellow in the autumn. Lovely, easy to grow tree. And this one here is over 2 metres tall, and we're giving them away for $49.99. So 2 metre tall Japanese maple, 12-inch pot, $49.99. Now here we've got a red maple. Now your beautiful red maple, this will have the beautiful red maple autumn colour, and he is only $14.99. So big leaves, amazing red autumn colour, a real classic tree, wonderful tree to plant in a clump, planted in a forest, planted in an avenue. It's fast growing, it's very, very beautiful, amazing autumn colour, and $14.99. Now here's a Queensland bottle tree. Now normally these are hundreds of dollars each, and this one here is only $99.99. So Queensland bottle tree, $99.99. You can't go wrong. And this is the one that gets the big fat bottom on it. So it has a big fat trunk.
Badonkadonk.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, big fat trunk, and at only $99.99 for quite a mature specimen. This, within a couple of years, this will look quite there it is there. Within a couple of years, that'll look quite spectacular in the garden. So Queensland bottle tree, $99.99. Now Cimmaron Ash. Now this is a beautiful big tree. This is amazing autumn colour ash. Now what I think we've got here is the sensuous. We skipped the sensuous. We've got the sensuous. maybe we could do the sensuous last. So what we've got here is we've got a Cimmaron Ash. Now Cimmaron Ash, fast growing, lush, big, beautiful spreading tree, fabulous autumn colour, awesome tree, tougher than tough. It's grafted onto what's called a desert ash, a Fraxinus oxycarpa, which is an ash that thrives in the desert. And these are only 30, where are we there? Cimmaron Ash is $99.99, 2.5 metres tall. If you want something tough, big and fast, you can't go wrong with it, and beautiful autumn colour, you can't go wrong with a Cimmaron Ash. Now here we've got the Ginkgo Maiden Hair Tree. In an 8-inch pot, these are only $22.99, so $22.99, almost 3 foot tall, $22.99, almost 3 foot tall, wonderful thing. I've heard that if you eat the leaves of these, they're good for your memory, but the problem is I just keep forgetting to eat them. But in springtime, you can get these, eat the foliage, and maybe develop your memory a little. And here's a great big ginkgo. Now, I reckon this ginkgo here would be, I reckon it'd be 10 years old. They take a while to grow a ginkgo tree, and this one here is this ginkgo tree here is only, it's a gift. I'm actually worried that people buying this ginkgo will feel guilty because they're not paying. They might feel like they're shoplifting. It's only $99. It's probably 10 years old. It's probably 10 years old. It's over 2 meters tall and $99. Now you could go online and look everywhere and see if you can get a bigger ginkgo for $99. And know that if you bought 3 of these ginkgos, you'd get a free Weeping Cherry and free delivery out to Seymour. I mean, it's unbelievable. Even Broadford, you could even get a free delivery to Broadford, couldn't you?
Yes.
Free delivery to Broadford and a free Weeping Cherry just by buying 3 of these here.
And they really brighten up the place.
Yeah, ginkgo. What I've noticed about ginkgo, I remember one time I was in Bright and I saw off in the distance, I saw this amazing bit of gold. And it was the goldest gold autumn colour I've ever seen. And I thought, and from where I was, I couldn't see what it was. And I thought, I have to find out what is that, because that's the best golden autumn colour I've ever seen. And I walked over there, it was a few hundred metres away, and I got there, and it was a ginkgo tree. So ginkgo tree, bright, the best golden autumn colour you can possibly get.
Beautiful.
And if you eat the leaves, you can even remember that it's the best golden autumn colour.
It's good for the memory.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Now here, I was telling a mate of mine about how you couldn't buy a crepe myrtle that was multi-stemmed. And at any rate, about 5 years ago, he showed me that he'd got some crepe myrtles and chopped the top off them to encourage them to multi-stem. Anyway, we've finally got a product, and here they are 5 years later. We've got multi-stemmed crepe myrtles. Now these are a work of art. What happens with the crepe myrtle? You've got white blossom in summer, you've got beautiful autumn colour in the autumn, and then you've got this beautiful bark that has beautiful patterns on it. You can see the patterns forming there now, and as it gets older it'll get more and more beautiful, the bark. And these ones here, instead of being, most people are growing crepe myrtles are growing them as street trees, and they grow them as a tall skinny stick with a bushy head on top, which is beautiful in certain circumstances. But if you wanted a crepe myrtle and you wanted that in the middle of the yard and you wanted it to be a real feature, there's nothing like a multi-stem crepe myrtle. And these ones here are works of art. We sell them in store here for $500, and when you consider that they're about 7 years old, that's pretty cheap. But normally they're $6.99. This one here is reduced to $499. So $4.99 for a multi-stemmed Natchez crepe myrtle.
Chris, you've received some love from 01.
Thank you. That's wonderful. I feel better already. Right, so here we have, now, Natchez crepe myrtles are very, very popular, and they're very popular for a good reason. The reason why Natchez crepe myrtles are so popular is that they are small. A lot of people these days, they really want a tree that's only 2.5, 3 metres tall, and a Natchez will give that to you. It'll give you a 2.5, 3 metre tree, never grows too big, beautiful white flowers in summer, beautiful autumn colour, fabulous bark. This one's designated, but what's interesting is that normally, because they're a miniature crepe myrtle, normally they cost $100 and they're only 1.2 metres tall. This is a nice old one, and it's 2 metres tall. It's might be even slightly more than 2 meters, 2 meters tall, and it's $99. You will never get bigger, better crepe myrtles than this for $99. For $99, the only reason why you wouldn't buy this is you might feel guilty. You might feel like you've been shoplifting buying something like this for $99. It's an amazing buy for $99. I've never had such big or such good a coma crepe myrtles for $99. So there we are, and it's 99 bucks reduced from $229. Now, this is a very interesting tree because this is tree, and it must be a very, very old tree, because do you know that this tree is native in India? It's native in Australia. In Australia, it grows as a beautiful big tree in the Australian rainforest up in the coastal northern Australia. So it's native in Australia, and it's also native in South America. So I would say that this tree was distributed before the continents actually split. So it's an incredible old tree. It's a white cedar, has amazing lavender flowers, and it's incredible because it grows. I've seen it growing in the Queensland rainforest, and it'll be like 30 metres tall with an amazing trunk. And then I've seen it growing out in the Wimmera around cattle yards in sort of 8-inch rainfall, and it's this beautiful gnarly little tree with beautiful flowers and lovely foliage. And in South America, they use it for making rosary beads. And the reason why they use it for making rosary beads is that the seed has got 6 sides. It's got a natural hole in the middle. So it's got this beautiful little wooden seed. You get it out of a yellow berry, and you can actually string it as a bead because it's got a natural hole in the middle, and people string them as beads and use them as rosary beads in South America. So it's a tree that is used a lot by developers and property developers and things like that as an extra hardy street tree. It's used as a feature tree, and it's often used right in the outback of Australia around cattle yards and places where they're looking for a bit of shade and almost nothing else will grow. So this is one of the toughest and most versatile trees around. It's called Amelia azedarac, or a white cedar, and it's a beautiful tree, lovely blossom, lovely foliage, wonderful tree, and a much underrated tree, and a very, very incredibly I can't think of a tree that's more versatile, and these ones here in 7-inch pots will set you back $14.99.
So we're rocketing away through this list. We're almost at the end now, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing is, if you've just tuned in, you're shocked at these prices, you wonder what you've missed, you can catch it all by going here. And know that when we're finished, like about how long will it take till we get this video up? This whole show.
This will be up this afternoon.
Yeah, so this afternoon this will go back up. You could be watching it tonight, gleaning all the specials out of it. And this is our biggest one ever. We've done 130 specials, and then the really big thing about this is if you spend over 300 bucks, we've got free delivery over most of Victoria. And to keep our staff busy through the cold, wet month ahead, we're going to give away a couple of hundred weeping cherries. We're giving away, anybody spending over 300 bucks gets one weeping cherry for free. The big one, a tall one, a short one, a white one, a pink one. Choose what you want.
Beautiful.
Whether you're buying online, buying over the phone, or coming in store, we want to give away a couple of hundred weeping cherries and keep our store busy. Now what we've got here is we have got a Chinese pistachio tree, and my dad was a famous tree grower, and he used to claim, you look at that autumn colour there, he used to claim that it was either this or the Nyssa sylvatica was the best autumn colour tree in the world, and that is a beautiful, beautiful tree. We made a video of this this autumn. Fantastic tree, but lovely summer foliage, and it's a fairly compact, nice sized tree, so it's not too big a tree. Ignore that in the pair there, but the Pistacia chinensis, and normally a nice big 16-inch pot like this would set you back a couple of $100, but these ones here are only going to set you back $99. So $99 for a Chinese pistachio tree.
Very nice.
Now, if you're putting property on the market this spring, this is going to be covered in white blossom and then green foliage, and it's about 4 meters, 3.5, 4 meters tall. It's an advanced tree, but the price is not advanced. The price is definitely not advanced. It's an advanced tree for an unadvanced price. This one here is they put it in backwards. They said that it's been reduced from $229 to $399. But in actual fact, we'll put that back the other way. We'll say it was $3.99 and it's been reduced to $2.29. So $2.29, and it's a very, very decent tree. And this will make a property look like, if you're putting a property on the market, if you want your property to look established this spring, plant one of these, 4 meters tall, $229. Ornamental pears, beautiful spring blossom, followed by lush green foliage all summer long, and then fabulous red autumn colour, and 4 meters tall is going to make your property look established straight away at an unestablished price of $229.
Chris, we've got Chitrang about 17 has joined us on Instagram and said hello.
Who is it?
Chitrang you back. Chitrang, sorry, I'm going to say that again. Chitrang, now I've got my tongue tied. Chitrang you back 17.
Hi. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm really pleased to hear from you. It's great. It's great that people tune into this and check it out. So now what we've got here is a, I'm going to check this.
Iris?
Yeah, this is a, now we'll have to correct this on the web. It says a snow pear. This is not a snow pear. This is a much rarer, a much more beautiful pear. If you wanted to have a beautiful pear that, this is a weeping silver pear. Now your weeping silver pear is a gorgeous, that's a weeping silver pear there. Look at that, weeping silver pear. Weeping silver pear, fabulous tree, white blossom in spring. Very compact size, amazing silver foliage in summer and autumn. Beautiful tree. I love the weeping silver pear. It's one of my favourite trees. A real garden classic. If you wanted to make your garden look sort of classic and wonderful, you'd buy one of these silver pears. Then you'd buy one of those crimson century maples, and then you'd get a nice golden tree like a Kelly's gold. So you have gold, purple, and silver. And if you put gold, purple, and silver in a triangle in your garden, it always looks, it doesn't look $1 million, it looks $2 million. It looks fantastic. Gives you that classic look. And you notice if you watch that show, what is it, Escape to the Country, those beautiful old English gardens, they do the purple, the gold, and the silver in a triangle, and it looks fantastic. The silver pear, great way to get the silver into your garden. It's a very compact tree, a little bit of a trim, doesn't grow too big. And this is the best silver pear deal I've ever seen in my whole life. This one here is 2 meters tall and it's $99. So there you are. That's a crazy price for $99 for a 2 meter rare weeping silver pear. Now we have a snow pear. Now a snow pear, I'll tell you the story. Why do they call a snow pear a snow pear? All pears grow in sort of country where you might get a bit of snow, but this one here, this is the heaviest, it's the #1 pear in the world. Of all the ornamental and all of the fruiting pears, this one here has the most white flowers in spring. So the number one pear for white blossom in spring is a snow pear. So a snow pear has a sort of a silver grey foliage. It's a very spreading tree. So if you want to really spread it, it's a beautiful spreading specimen tree. And when it blossoms in the spring, it has the most white flowers, so much so that people feel that it looks like it's laden with snow. It's basically, it has all these horizontal branches and they're all just pure white with snow. So snow pear, a wonderful spreading tree. And actually what's interesting is the last couple of years you couldn't give a snow pear away, but this year they've become more known and more popular. Great tree to get. Normally $229. This one here is nearly 3 meters tall and it's $99. $99 for your snow pear. Now your red oak comes from Canada, and your red oak has a great big leaf. It has a beautiful red autumn colour. It's a fast growing oak that's it's a lovely spreading oak tree. So a beautiful spreading oak, big leaf, red leaf, big acorn, wonderful oak to have on a bit of a country property or something like that. They can be rare and hard to get, and this red oak here is $14.99. $14.99, nice gutsy strong little tree. And you know what the secret of growing oaks is? If you're putting oaks in, what oaks need is that they are unable to process the fertilizer that you give them into nutrients that they can use unless they have some fungus in there. So what you do is you go to an old oak tree and you get some leaves and dirt and stuff from under an old oak tree, and you cultivate around the base of your oak, top and you mix that leaves and dirt into it, and what'll happen, that fungus will get in there, and then any fertilizer you put on will go straight to that oak. And a mate of mine once lent me his beach house and offered him some money. He said, look, he said, there's a bloody oak tree I planted for my grandfather who left me the house, and he said, never damn well grew. Anyway, I got a big bag of dirt and leaves from under an oak tree near my house, and a nice couple of kilos of dolomite lime, and I put that round there and put this oak and leaves around it and cultivated it in a little bit. And then every year when I saw him after that, he'd say, oh, that bloody oak tree's gone crazy, I can't believe it. And so that oak tree grew like crazy and grew into a beautiful big tree in no time once it had the right sort of fertilizer. And what people do wrong with their oak trees, if you should let the leaves that fall off the oak rot under the oak, because those leaves are what feed the oak. So you often see where people have got immaculate lawns and no leaves under their oak tree, that the oak trees can look a bit sad and scungy.
Beautiful, great advice.
Yeah, so there we are. So there's your red oak and $14.99. You can't go wrong.
Now, Chris, Chitrangabat 17 is back on Instagram, said we visited last weekend. Thank you so much to Hello Plant staff who helped us to find the perfect hedge plants and also yellow flowers for my daughter that she asked for.
Thank you for the feedback. It's lovely to get that feedback.
And we do enjoy people coming down to visit us at 1477 Hume Highway. Are we Sydney Road? No, we're Sydney Road, aren't we?
Sydney Road, that's right.
It's the old Hume Highway.
And what I love is the last customer I did a garden design for this morning, I did their garden. I didn't realise I'd been doing it for so long, but I did their garden design 20 years ago.
Wow.
And they've sold that house, built a new house, fabulous home, and they wouldn't go to anyone else to get that garden design, so they came down here and got their garden design 20 years later.
Amazing.
So now what we've got here is we've got an English oak. Now this really, you've got to take your hat off to the grower who's growing this. This English oak here will be 1, 2, 3, I reckon it's 8 or 9 years old.
Wow.
But what's great about it, it's grown in a root prune bag, so it's got a great root system. It's a beautiful straight tree. Often you see them, they're a bit gnarly and a bit bucketed up after they've been in a pot for years. This has been really, really well grown, and we've got a few of these, so you could buy a couple of these, no worries. Now this oak tree here, it's a super duper quality one. If you're paying a couple of $100, you'd be stealing it. But this is $100. $100. $100. 10-year-old tree, beautiful tree, really well grown, perfect root system. So if you had a country property and you needed a few oak trees, give us a yell. We can give you beautiful oak trees like this. And then I can also, and if you buy a few of these off me, I'll give you that secret of how to inoculate them with the right fungus and make them grow on your property. So English oaks, and this one here is 2.5 meters tall, and it's ready to do a fabulous job on somebody's property. And you know, like I could probably come up with 10 or 15 of these for a country property. Great. I mean, I've never seen a better oak for $99.
No,
Never in my whole life.
I've never seen a better oak at that.
Yeah,
That's
so
great quality. Chris, a really good legacy plant as well. You plant the oak for someone else, not necessarily just for yourself.
That's right, yeah, that's right. An oak tree, people will be able to, you could plant an oak, they could bury you under it, and then people could enjoy it for many, many years afterwards.
There you go. Now, JMC's back on YouTube said, hi, could you grow the Chinese pistachio in a pot on a terrace that gets strong winds?
Yes.
You could do.
Use a good sized pot, plenty of water, plenty of fertiliser, no worries at all.
Beautiful.
Now, this is your mop top robinia. I wonder if we've got a good video of the mop top robinia. Let's have a look. Mop top, look at that, fantastic. Look at that there, and a good looking bloke underneath there in the bushes with the mop top. So mop top robinia, there we are. So mop top robinia, fabulous. This is a fabulous ball on a stick tree. And what's great, it grows into a beautiful round shape. You don't have to trim it. After you've had it for a few years, you may want to trim it. Most years you don't have to trim it. But what I love about mop tops is you plant one of these, and within a year, the trunk will be as thick as your arm, the head will be 1.5 meters round, and it'll look like you've had it there for years. So if you had, say you just build a new house somewhere, and maybe it's a hot, windy spot, maybe it's a difficult spot, and you pop these in, you put in 6 of these, you can make, in 1 year, you can make your garden look really, really established.
Yeah, that'd be great. These ones look better than the ones that are actually in the street next to mine.
These are particularly good quality. They're dead straight. And let's talk about the price of these. These mop tops here reduced from $229.99 to $149.99. So $149.99. They are incredible value.
When you think about what you can buy for $150,
yeah,
you know, you can't get much these days. I mean, you go to the supermarket, $150 doesn't get you many bags.
A couple of dozen eggs, I reckon.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Or you get this big banger.
Yeah, a couple of dozen eggs and maybe a steak and you'd be gone, $150.
That's it.
Right, so here we are. So if you want to make a place look established, you want to plant an avenue or row or run these up the driveway or just put two of them out the front of the house, these will make a house look established in no time at all. They're tough, they'll heat poor soil. They'll take anything except they don't like wet feet. Don't put them in a spot that's going to flood for a week or two. So mop tops, $149.99. Beautiful advanced tree for that.
All right, so Chris, before we wrap things up today, just a quick reminder that if you've got questions about plant care, choosing the right plants for your space, solving garden challenges, you can join us on Mondays for our weekly Q&A live stream where we'll be happy to help you to find the right plant for you.
Yeah, that's right. Lots of people join and we answer any sort of question and about the garden, bugs, what to plant, how to design it, all sorts of ideas. Now here we've got one of my favourite trees. This is a Japanese elm tree. Now Japanese elms grow anywhere. They're very, very fast, they're very, very easy to grow. Now what's interesting, they're unbelievably tough, but at the same time they're as beautiful. A Japanese elm is just as beautiful as a Japanese maple. Beautiful tree, grows quickly, easy to grow it anywhere, beautiful foliage, beautiful autumn colour, really wonderful tree. And then what's incredible is the price. These ones here, they're 6 foot tall and they're $14.99. So $14.99 for a 6 foot tall Japanese elm. Yeah, now.
Just a friendly reminder.
Yes, a friendly reminder. No matter over most of Victoria, like all through Melbourne, all the Melbourne suburbs, down to Currumborough, up to Traralgon, up to Shepparton, up to Ballarat, up to Bendigo, down to Geelong, down to the Surf Coast. We do free delivery when you spend over $300. So free delivery when you spend over $300. And then, but at the moment, we want to stay busy this July. We're really keen to stay busy this July. And our plan to stay busy is if you spend over $300, I'm planning to give away quite a few hundred of these Weeping Cherries. Now, you can choose a short one or a tall one. Short ones are great for pots or small gardens. Tall ones are great as a centerpiece in the garden. So you can have a short one, a tall one, a white one, or a pink one. You choose, and you can have it whether you buy online, whether you buy over the phone, or whether you hook up the trailer and come down here and fill up your garden. And what it is, with incentives like free Weeping Cherries when you spend over $300, we're planning to stay busy through the cold, wet weather. We're going to stay busy through the cold, wet weather, and we're going to get you out into the garden because you can't resist. We've got, and if you go and have a look at this page here that we've got here, if you get on that page there, you're going to see 130 amazing specials. What are the categories of those specials?
Oh, the categories. So we have got, so today we've been through 130 different plants, ranging from climbers, edibles, feature plants, grasses and strappy plants, ground covers, screens, hedges and windbreaks, shrubs and borders. We've been through the lot.
Yeah, and due to popular demand, can we play our video one more time? What is it? The Weeping Cherry one, yeah. Let's have a look. So we've got a fabulous video, and we spent 3 months making this video, and it's a takeoff of the Milky Bar ad. So check this out, the Milky, and it's called The Weeping Cherries Are On Me. The free Weeping Cherries are on me, and here it comes.